Hey guys, what's going on? Dave Moore here. Talked about dry practice with a pistol the other day. I kind of want to talk about dry practice with a shotgun and with a rifle. The shotgun is really one of the hardest guns to operate because it pretty much runs out of ammo constantly, so you have to keep feeding it. I don't have any shotgun training or anything, just kind of things that I've learned from Magpul, other YouTube channels, and it's pretty hard, really. It takes a lot of thinking and a lot of dexterity to get the shells in there. So I'm going to try to show you a few things that I do. I only have 2 dummy rounds, so I'm not sure if you get the full effect, but it'll still work out. So stand by, and I will show you what I do. Alright, so with my Mossberg 500A that I built, first thing I usually do is just practice loading off the shell carriers. Like I said, I only have 2 rounds, 2 dummy rounds, so I'll put these 2 in there, just like if I had the like real rounds. I need to buy more. I'll probably go do that today, but I have the Brown Coat Tactical elastic shell carriers, and I actually have 8 shells here, 8 shells here, but I don't have live ammo in here because I'm practicing with it, so that's always smart to do. So really what I'll do is I'll practice aiming. I'll find a spot in the wall, a dot target. Right now I'm just going to use a spot in the wall. What I'll do is I'll shoot and practice basically just loading it one at a time. So that's always fun. Really no technique to it. I mean, I'm left-handed though, so what you kind of have to understand is I'm grabbing them from a different angle. So I'll shoot, and I'm turning, looking in the chamber, and I'm grabbing from the bottom. I'm pulling it around, feeding it through. Now if you're right-handed, you're going to shoot, rack it back, and you can really just kind of grab it, just go straight over, and pull it forward. That looks a little sketchy because I'm left-handed. So just kind of take it as you will. Use whatever technique's going to work for you. Let me get this back in here real quick. Then, other than that, I guess another drill I'll do is I'll have it forward, boom, practice getting one in the chamber, then loading the magazine. It's important, you always want to keep the chamber loaded, because you can feed the tube all you want, but you still can't fire. So as it's back, you want to make sure you're feeding that chamber. So once you're out, just drop it in. There's really no trick to it, just drop it in there. Another one is going to be a slug changeover. Now I have a Remington 870 Nitro Express here too. The slug changeover with the Remington is different than the one with the Mossberg. With the Mossberg, basically, so you've got a magazine full. Pretend there's one in the chamber. Like I said, I only have 2 dummy rounds. So you're going to fire, eject that shell out. Then what's going to happen is a casing or a shell from your mag tube is going to go in the chamber. So pew, rack, there's one in the chamber, dump it out, plug in, boom. It's weird, and with a Mossberg you end up losing that one shell just because it's in the way. You have to get it out. So I'll try to show you from another angle. Set it up. You're going to put one in the mag 2. Pretend there's one in here. You have to pull the trigger to rack it, or it won't unlock the breech. So from this side, you rack out that round, pretend the casing fell out, get that other one out, drop it in. So there's no way around it with a Mossberg. You're going to lose that round. That's just how it is. So, man, I only have two of these fake rounds, so you kind of got to deal with me. So, full speed, gonna set it up. One of the tube, two. Alright, to go full speed, at least as fast as I can do it, one of the tube, pretending one's in the chamber, and you're gonna get one in your shell carrier. I recommend these Brown Coat Tactical shell carriers. They're elastic, as you can tell, they're kind of stiff right now, but they're not going to come off of there. I've got one that sits here, kind of whole side of the gun shells. So you're up, one's in the tube, fake one in the chamber, imaginary one in the chamber. Boom, back it out. So that's really it. There's ways to get it out of there. Basically, what I found, you rack it to get that shell that comes out of there, just turn it. It'll usually work. So, let's just do an example of that. So, boom, just turn it, it's going to come out. For the most part. I'll switch over to another angle here. So you can see none of the chamber. Imagine that there's one there. So I'm not the best with a shotgun. This might look kind of sketchy, and if it looks that way, it's because it kind of is. Because instead of not taking the shotgun course, I'm just kind of winging it here. I only have two of these, so I don't know, it is what it is, I guess. But I'll do one more time from this side. So, boom. That's a slug changeover. What you have to remember is it's not only change the slug over, but you got to think, if you have shell carriers, where are you going to put your slugs? You're going to put them in the back here, you're going to put them up front. Don't have them mixed up. And I can tell you, if you put them back here, you're not going to be able to get them as easy. So, for instance, let's say if you always keep your slugs opposite of your buckshot, as in buckshot goes down and you have your slug's back here facing up, you have to be able to do it like that. So it all depends on how you're carrying your extra ammo. Home defense, you're probably not going to carry ammo, or just the ammo that's on your gun, but you're not going to have belts full of ammo. So you got to think, if you got it up here, you got to be able to do the same thing. You got to be able to load it from back here. And I'll do it again here in slow motion. So, set it up. Imagine there's one in the chamber. There's one in the mag tube. Now there's going to be more in the mag tube, but spent casing comes out. Tilt, you just lost a buckshot or whatever you have in there. That's how it has to work with the Mossberg. Turn it back, drop it in the chamber, forward, boom. With the Mossberg, you're always going to lose that one shell, which sucks. But you're replacing it with a slug. Now, I'm not even going to use live ammo, not pull the trigger because that's just dumb. But what I will say is you need to practice loading the tube. That's the hard part, is getting this into that little magazine tube hole. So a way to do it if you're doing a slug changeover, which home defense you're probably not going to need to do a slug changeover, but so boom, dump it, slug. At this point, if you don't have to fire, you're going to feed more into it. You're going to grab from here, you're going to grab from a shell carrier back there, belt, whatever, pocket, wherever you have the rounds. But I can't demonstrate that because I only have 2 of these snap caps, and like I said, I'm not going to use live ammo. You use deprimed or shotgun shells that have been shot already, spent shells, I guess. But for the sake of the video, I'm not going to use live ammo, and I don't recommend anybody do it. It's just that's all I have, so this is what I've got. Now practicing feeding too, I mean, it seems easy. I mean, really, I'll do this angle. You know, empty when I reload. You gotta practice. You just gotta get in. Being left-handed, this is how I do it. Right-handed, same general concept. So that's with the Mossberg 500. Now I'll switch to the Remington 870 Nitro Express. It's a little different. It's harder actually because you have to do more thinking. But the Mossberg, this is what I have as my gun. This Remington is just a gun that I have. It's not tactical, but it is black. So I'm going to have to put the fake slug in my pocket. So stand by for that. Alright, so with the Remington 870, it's a little harder in my opinion. But you are able to save that shell without having to drop it on the floor. So basically what you're going to do, drop one in the chamber, put one in the tube, or fill the tube if you have more than just 2 A-zoom snap caps. I'll do it from over here. Basically going to you're going to rack it back halfway so that you can see half of that shell. You're going to reseat the shell in the bottom, rack that the rest of the way out, drop in your slug, and go. Okay? So, I don't know if I'll be able to do this with just two of these, but once again, I run a Mossberg, so I take my experience with the Remington with a grain of salt because I don't use it all the time. So again, you pull back halfway, reseat that shell so that it doesn't pop out. So you reseat it, rack that out the rest of the way, drop in the slug, forward, cue. As you can see, you probably can't see, but the shell's still seated in there. Here it is. So really, doing this, I can't really show you with only 3 of these. So basically, being left-handed doing this is kind of a pain. I'll tell you that right now. But really, let's just say I learned it by watching right-handed people, so I've got to tweak it to a left-handed method now, which is the same. You just gotta think a little more. So I'm gonna come out and I'm one in the chamber, one in the tube. Fake slug on the side of the gun, let's say. So you come out, cue, bring it back halfway until you see it, reseat the shell. That one comes all the way out, drop in the slug, up, pew. Okay. Once again, now the Remington, it has really smooth action, so what you have to do is you come up, you kind of have to squeeze it so that it doesn't sling back forward. Right, so you squeeze it, you're going to reseat, go all the way back, eject it, drop in your slug, forward, pew. So I'll try with an imaginary shell in the chamber now so that you can see the load. Being left-handed, one more time. doing it, then I'll do it with an imaginary slug. With a real slug in it. So you come here, boom, halfway back, seat the shell in the mag tube all the way back, reload, forward, pew. Alright? You can tell I just put that one from the mag tube into the chamber now, so it did stay seated. Mossberg won't do that. I'll grab that again and show you. So, with let's just go with the slug in my pocket. Say, grab a handful of slugs. So, pew, halfway back, seat, all the way back, slug, pew, out. So, take it as you will, I guess. Like I said, I'm not professional with the Remington, not professional with the Mossberg, but I'm a little more proficient with the Mossberg. I think that having to shoot and hold it halfway back so that you can see part of the shell and then reseating, I mean, yeah, you don't lose that shell, but if you're under stress and you're having to think and squeeze and hold it and see that, I mean, majority of the time, what I did was, or when I try to do it is, you know, pew, bring it back halfway and it comes out. So then you know, having to swoop that, fill it, go up, pew. So I'm going to say the method with the Mossberg is probably the better method. It's going to work more often. Unless you have really fine motor skills and you can do it under stress and all that. So, alright, so I'll do it the Mossberg way that I showed you first, but with the Remington. Which I feel is a better way to do it. So, I mean, choose whichever way you like. Pew, spent casing comes out, turn, slug, and pew. The Mossberg way that you have to do it, you're going to lose the shell, but reseating it, it's great in theory. You know, pew, back, reseat, out, slug, boom. But I don't know. I don't know if it'll work under stress. And well, I can tell you this: it definitely won't work if you don't practice it. So if you don't practice it, I mean, it won't work. It's plain and simple. And I know it looks stupid with me not using, only having 2 snap caps, whatever, but that's kind of what you're dealt. So now I will say most people do have a Remington 870, but Mossberg's never failed me. It's never failed anyone really, from what I hear. And it's, I mean, it's a tried and true shotgun. Plus, my Mossberg looks a lot cooler. I mean, it's easier to load the tube also. But I will say my Mossberg here is pretty heavy because I got all this stuff on it. But I mean, either way, dump it, slug in. Like I said, it looks kind of sketchy. I'm trying to put this video together quick, and I'm trying to just think through everything. But I mean, you just gotta practice it. Shotgun's hard. Shotgun's real hard. So one of the main things that I'll practice is kind of doing what they call, you know, tactical reloads on the shotgun. That's you eject. I think feeding the tube's easy. I mean, you're going to drop shells loading it, I can guarantee you that. That's just nature of the beast. It's not all going to go perfect every time. So that's me with the shotgun. So I'm in my basement. I'm trying to put this together quick because I'm hungry. But I'll see how it comes out. See if it even makes any sense at all, I guess. But I'll show you what I got here in the shotgun. I've got the ATI Halo heat shield with the ghost ring sights that comes with it. I have the ATI Scorpion stock and forend, and the Brownco Tactical elastic shell carriers. That's what their logo looks like. These things are awesome. They're not going to come off. I made some before out of Velcro, and they'd fall off when you're shooting them. So these are great. These don't fall off. Maybe I'll post a video of me doing some AR dry practice, which I mean is kind of just like pistol, except not at all. It's reloads, malfunctions, stuff like that. So hopefully you like the video. Click like, subscribe, whatever you want to do, and stay tuned for more. Alright guys, so that sums it up. Dry practice with a 12 gauge shotgun, Mossberg 500, Remington 870. Just to finish it off here, I've got my Warrior Culture Gear Maori shirt. It's got the haka on the back, and my new little endeavor here, my Wishes for Warriors patch. Wishes for Warriors is a foundation for veterans of our military. Basically helps them out in more ways than one. Check them out. Brian Marshall, the CEO, the founder, is an awesome guy. Wishes for Warriors is on Instagram, Facebook. They have a website, wishesforwarriors.com, I believe it is. So I got this patch to support them. I'm going to rock it around town here. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Like I said, hopefully this video isn't too sketchy. I'm trying to do it quick, but I'm trying to explain it, but I only have two snap caps, so it's kind of hard to explain. I'll edit it, and if I don't deem it worthy, I'll have to do it once I buy some more snap caps. So until then, stay tuned. I'll have more up here for you.